Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Well, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
The show where we get hyped about stuff and or on occasion things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm guest Starline Hodge.
Hi, Star.
Hey,
Hi.
Star.
Welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Thanks
Of
for
course.
being a part of this.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
how are you?
I'm very
How are
excited about
things?
that Bane drawing.
I know. I finally got to the sketching part and I'm like, okay, this is going to happen.
Looks wonderful.
I'm going to finish this
It looks wonderful.
sooner than later.
Yeah. Are you guys enjoying all the XXX news?
Oh,
Yes.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Very much so.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
I'm so glad you guys introduced me to that series.
Oh, yeah.
I think about it at least once a week.
I think I might have to. I've been inspired now by Jacob Wall.
By the Jacob
I
Wall
think I
thing.
might. I think I might get the tattoo. I think I might get the triple
tattoo on
X's.
his face.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
god. Oh.
I didn't know anybody would legitimately do that.
I figure someone must have, statistically speaking, if
Right.
a character has that tattoo, some asshole's going to do it, right?
Right. The kind of idiot that would get that tattoo unironically is the kind of idiot that would take bribe money to make a false allegation against a
Right.
public figure.
Right. I would argue that it's also dumb to do it ironically, which is what I'm going to do. But I'm still going to do it. I want the X's on my neck. I want that so bad.
I'm not gonna encourage it, but I'm also not gonna discourage that. I'm just
Right.
gonna let that. If that happens, that happens.
Right.
In
I'm
50
not,
years, people are going to be like, look at, he got that classic film
yeah, I'm not
tattooed on his neck.
I'm not going to discourage you from doing it, but I am going to enjoy the tattoo once you've done it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so
Um,
good. I hope this will get us to a fourth movie, like the boost
This
that
is the
Triple
last
X
bit
is getting
we need,
today.
yeah, just to drag us across the finish line with a fourth film.
Mhm.
That and a second Last Witch Hunter. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really want another Last Witch Hunter.
Well, once America realizes that they need a fourth Triple X, they'll be like, well, what else were we wrong about with Vin Diesel? And that's when Last Witch Hunter will have its
We'll
It's
have
heyday?
its
Yeah,
day in the hot
time to
sun.
shine.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about trailers?
Yes.
Man, I can't wait to talk about trailers.
First one is for Birds of Prey.
Sure.
Who is? I know they got like a stunt. They got like the John Wick person or something to come in and do stunts for this.
Maybe?
I remember reading about that they specifically like did reshoots or something for stunts.
Mm-hmm.
The fights in the trailer looked really
I
good.
was
Yeah.
gonna say, and you can tell because it looks fucking great.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
movie looks great.
Yeah.
My only
Yeah,
my only complaint is that the trailer is very Harley heavy, but I get it.
Yeah, I haven't really looked up this movie at all. I vaguely know who the Birds of Prey are just because of comics.
Mm-hmm.
But watching this trailer, I didn't know who the other girls
Right. 'cause
were.
Nobody
Like,
else
I don't
gets
know
to
who's
speak,
supposed
really.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it because Harley Quinn was the best part of Suicide Squad.
Right. And she was great in the trailer too. I'm like, okay, this is fine. And it's called like what, Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Like
Right.
it's like
The-
it's not
and-
just Birds of Prey.
And the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's her movie, fine. And it
Yeah.
looks good. The color, like the way it's shot, it's visually really interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna be 100% on board with it because I don't like what the DC movies do.
I was about to say, here's the one thing going against it, which is that it's a DC movie, so statistically speaking, it's doomed. But
I don't trust it.
They're on the upswing. The last 3 have been fun, right?
let's see, we got Aquaman,
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam.
Were those the last 3?
I think so.
Those were all quite good.
I think Wonder Woman came out before Justice League, though.
Yeah, I feel like there was a Justice League.
You're
in
right.
there.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
I like how we just forgot about
right,
Justice
because
League.
that's Justice League's biggest problem.
Yeah,
is that I
which is funny
routinely
because
forget it exists.
It's Justice
it's
League.
a Justice League movie.
It should be the biggest thing ever, and we're like, all right, it was a Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
man.
100,000% on board for Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam. So if this is just more along those lines, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna go see this one. Like, I will take time to like go and give them money because at least visually, I want to reward it. The posters that they released recently, it's the type of poster where I'm like, I don't know if I love or hate this, but I'm leaning on loving it because it's visually different.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, it was very like pop culture, bright colors, leaning into that side of like Harley. Like, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's what Suicide Squad wanted to be in post.
Yes.
Like but they hadn't filmed it to be that.
Right.
So this time, I think this is like their actual do-over for that style.
Mm-hmm. And I like
So-
the other two. The Birds of Prey are it's a Huntress and Black Canary, and I like those two characters. So that'll be cool.
Oh,
That's
so
cool.
the singer lady's Black Canary then.
Yes.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay. See, I didn't have that context clue because, like,
Right.
also what Black Canary's known for to me is like the fishnet leggings,
Mhm.
and she didn't do her scream. So I was just like, well, who is that?
Ewan McGregor's supposed to be Black Mask, so I don't know if he's going to get his Black Mask in this movie.
I didn't know Ewan McGregor was going to be in
Oh,
this.
I didn't know either. And I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's a delight.
Yeah.
That's nice that he's there.
Ewan is all over the place.
He plays
right
a
now.
delightful bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, when else has he been a bad guy? I guess Angels and Demons? Spoilers?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
It's a twist. It's a twist.
the Soderbergh movie with Gina Carano. What the hell was the name of that movie? Haywire.
Soderbergh. Oh, yeah, he's a bad guy in Haywire.
Yeah, but a very different kind of bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
He's like a sniveling wiener bad guy, and he's great. in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Especially that classic Angels and
Is
Demons.
the new Batman movie going to be still in this world with like
It's unclear.
Which one?
the one that they're
with
going
our
to cast
Robert
Jonah
Pattinson?
something?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
as
who's
one of
clearly
the
going to be
villains.
Penguin. Like, who
I
else
don't
is
know.
he going to be?
He's lost some weight, so
No,
he could be a Riddler, or he could be like.
Yeah, I know what part he's being looked at for.
Oh,
And, and
okay.
it is Riddler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
that's
could
cool.
see him saying some fucking riddles.
And I saw somebody post something about the short list of who's going to be Catwoman.
Oh, it's
And it's
great.
like- And it's like Tessa Thompson, Lupita, and I'm forgetting a whole bunch of other people, but those are the two that stuck out. to
Yeah,
Right,
me.
yeah,
Lupita
I saw
Nyong'o
those
I
two
want to
names. I was
be-
like, what?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
they're going like Eartha Kitt, Catwoman. Cool,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
hell
cool,
yeah.
cool.
It's
Like,
about
on
goddamn
board.
time. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's man, that's exciting.
Yeah, that movie's
They
looking
should
pretty
do-
sweet.
They should take another crack at a Catwoman movie. I think it's time, right?
Yes, please. Do it. Sure. Why
yeah,
not?
Yeah.
the one that isn't the Halle Berry one.
No.
They should keep the basketball though. The
They
basketball
should just
scene.
they should do the basket. Have Benjamin Bratt come in,
Yeah,
even if he
just for
doesn't
that
play any
scene.
other character in the film.
Oh my God, that would be
Have her play basketball
beautiful.
while kids watch.
He's just his character from Doctor Strange. Have you noticed that all
What the-
Benjamin Bratt does in superhero movies is play basketball?
What the fuck was going on? Because in Daredevil, there's a fight in a playground too, a romantic fight.
Mm-hmm.
During that, what was happening? Why did we decide?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, why did we decide that our superhero movies needed playground fights?
I guess
between
because
the
it's
two
like
romantic...
it's showing off. There's the playground and the basketball game are showing like that it's like a game, but it's also like competitive. So it's like
Sure.
it did not work. But
No,
it
it didn't work either time.
I think that was the thinking behind those decisions.
Right. Yeah, it's playful fighting,
Yeah,
so it's on a playground.
right.
And then kids are watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's real weird. and I hate it. But I do enjoy.
Kids
this
are watching
trailer.
Ben Affleck blind eye fuck Jennifer Garner, just with his dead eyes.
Have a seesaw sword fight.
I think that was one of the first movies I went to where I was like, I experienced the feeling of like, that was bad.
Yeah. It's like, this didn't work.
I because when you're younger, like you don't realize what a bad movie is. 'cause
Right.
You're like
Yeah.
not used to movies, so there's no like context yet. But that one, was one of the first ones I was just like, I don't think I enjoyed that. I think that wasn't good.
That wasn't very
right?
good. I vividly
messed
remember the first movie I went to see where I came out of it like, that wasn't very good. And that was The Island
What?
of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That makes sense.
I came out of
checks
that movie, was like, I think that movie was bad.
I think I know what a bad movie
Right,
is
it just
now.
never occurred to me before that. I was just like, oh, movies.
that it could
movies are
happen.
just,
Like
right.
if it's on this big screen, clearly it's gone through such a
Right.
process
Right.
that somebody wouldn't make it.
I think it's
bad.
it's part of that implicit trust you have for adults when you're a child.
Yeah.
It's like-
Exactly.
it's
You're like
it's the same moment when you encounter an adult that does not have their shit together, and it's like the first time you figure that out. You're like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Oh,
and
man.
you're like, and it's it breaks your soul for a second. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
oh no, I'm on my own.
Oh, it's all chaos.
oh, nobody knows what they're doing.
Fuck.
What else is bad? Surely the Super Mario Brothers movie wasn't bad, right?
I
That
think
was
the other
the-
one was Dreamcatcher. That was another one I saw.
Ooh.
Woof.
Because I went to go see that because of the animatrix stuff in the
yeah.
beginning. And I was
Sure.
like, well, I guess I'll endure this horror movie because I don't like horror. And then and I was scared up until the toilet scene. And then I was just like, wait, what am I watching?
Like, what the fuck is this?
You're like,
What is
this
this?
is bullshit.
What the
And then I was
fuck?
like, oh, this isn't scary at all. What is this? This is trash.
Oh my gosh, we watched it at a movie night like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and
Morgan
holy
Freeman's
shit.
eyebrows.
So bad. It's so
It is madness.
Yeah, it's terrific. Let's get to the next one.
Yeah.
Which is The Gentleman. This is Guy Ritchie's first, back to
Guy Ritchie,
crime Guy Ritchie.
I'm
movie.
intrigued.
Since rock and
I'm
roll.
very since Rock and Roll, which he's supposed to do sequels to that. I am also intrigued. I am excited. This feels very much like the Guy Ritchie that I've always loved.
Yeah,
which is-
I'm about it. I like
Yeah.
I like the visuals of this. I like even the way they colored it. I was like, I usually don't pay attention to that.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just like, I like this filter. Whatever they're using, this is nice. This is soothing to my eyes as I'm going to watch these people be violent with each other.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like
I li-
it's like the opposite of what Snatch looked like. It's like a warmer
yeah.
Yes.
color palette.
And
I like that Guy Ritchie was like, I wonder if Hugh Grant can be scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not used to Hugh Grant being
Right.
menacing / creepy.
Well, that was the best thing about Guy Ritchie early on, is he kind of, not in his style, but he reminded me of British Tarantino with that, in that he could get famous actors to do shit that we don't normally see them do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy to see him kind of going back to that as well, and having creepy, scary Hugh Grant. And yeah, I don't know. It just it makes me very happy to
It's
see this.
drug cartels fighting,
Yeah.
mob stuff. I was like, all right, cool.
And it's definitely going to be more of his more mature style. It definitely reminded me more of Rock and Roll. Did he do The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
He did.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm getting that vibe off of it, but it's going to just be a little more R-rated,
Man,
And-
the world slept on The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I didn't see it, and I remember wanting to see
It's a
it.
good movie.
It is kind of good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I remember really liking the billboards and the posters for it. I should go see that. That looks like something I would enjoy, and I just never got around to it.
I think you'd be really into it. Yeah.
You liked Kingsman, right?
Yeah.
It has that vibe, the Kingsman vibe.
Yeah, I
because
thought
it's-
this movie, for some reason, because I remember there was isn't there a Kingsman?
Right,
Yeah, there's
that's
the
prequel.
Kingsman. Yeah, the
yeah,
Kingsman.
but my brain swapped it for half a second, then I started. I'm like, oh wait, what is this? I'm like, oh, this isn't Kingsman.
Right.
This looks better than Kingsman.
Yeah.
This looks more grounded anyway.
Yeah, I'm did he write this? Do we know if Guy Ritchie wrote this one? He
I
usually
I
writes them,
assume
right?
so. Let's look it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just very excited. for more of this. It hasn't. It's been a while. Like Rock and Roll was probably the last one that's like British crime fun, unless Layer Cake, which wasn't Guy Ritchie, but maybe that came after. I don't know. There needs to be more of that genre. So
yeah, he's got screenplay and story by credit, and story by credit is shared with 2 other guys. One of them is Ivan Atkinson, who also worked with him not as a writer, but on a lot of his other movies. Man from U.N.C.L.E., Aladdin, King Arthur, Sherlock Holmes.
These are hard movies to write if they're done well. Like Snatch, Lock, Stock. Has anybody seen Revolver?
No.
Okay.
No.
Revolver is nuts. That was his. Like, I think that was his movie before Rock and Roll.
That's the movie that got Daniel Craig James Bond, right?
No, he wasn't in that.
Oh, I'm thinking of Layer Cake.
Layer Cake, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Layer Cake.
Layer Cake's fantastic. If only to see Cole Meany beat up Daniel Craig.
The improbable.
Oh, I would say that's very probable.
Yeah, well,
in that stage, Daniel Craig's all skinny in that. He's not Bond swole.
Right.
He's like.
This is the reason why Daniel Craig would have gone to the gym after getting beat up that bad. Like okay, it's time for me to bulk up.
I feel like getting beat up by Cole Meany.
Old man anger.
Yeah, I feel like getting beat up by Cole Meany wouldn't be that embarrassing because you just be like, well, of course, look at him.
Yeah.
Like
he's a scary guy. Rock and Roll is the one it's a Guy Ritchie film with Ray Liotta. That alone should, make everybody go out and see it. Ray Liotta is the bad guy in this Guy Ritchie film.
In Revolver.
You said
and
Rock
Jason
and Statham. Sorry. And Jason Statham. It's about Jason Statham getting out of prison. And Ray Liotta is the reason he was in prison, and they're anticipating his revenge. And then the movie just goes ape shit from there. I don't want to spoil it.
Did I see that? I think I saw that. I might have
Maybe.
seen that with you guys.
I don't know. It's
that
fairly
sounds
old.
super familiar, like what you're saying, and I'm like, did I see that?
Maybe.
I don't
know. Tom, you said you hadn't seen it.
I haven't seen it. No.
Mark Strong's in it. He's solid in it. Yeah, it's just I don't want to say more about it.
Maybe I'm confusing it with Snatch.
Maybe. We've definitely watched Snatch together.
Was there a gun in the trunk?
That could be a lot of movies, I feel like.
You've described every crime movie.
The Russian with the gun in the trunk?
Yes.
That's Snatch.
Okay, then that's what I'm thinking of. Never mind. I was just like, I'm like, what's sticking out in my brain right now?
I gotta rewatch
confused.
that. But yeah, fucking The Gentleman. I don't know. I feel like there's a very specific type of people who love this movie and are happy to see it, and I'm glad it's existing instead of I don't know, Sherlock Holmes 3 or King Arthur 2.
I mean, he's going to keep making those kinds of movies, but
yeah. I mean, that's like your money maker. Like, be like, hey, let me just make something that I know is going to give me a nice paycheck. People will be excited.
For the record, I loved both the Sherlock Holmes movies.
I like those two, honestly.
Yeah,
they were actually like pretty like.
I need to revisit the second one now that Jared Harris is a thing.
Yeah, I just think it's a waste of Guy Ritchie because I think this is like the stuff that only he can do is this type of movie, or only he can do this well.
But it's kind of nice that he does it sparingly, because if not, you'd probably get bored.
That's true.
It'll be like a Wes Anderson effect where it's just like, man, is this all he can do if this is all he did?
And I appreciate... Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's just nice that he swaps it up a little bit so that you're like, oh, okay, look, he can do all these things. And then when he goes back to like the dessert, you're like, yes, cool, some ice cream of a movie.
Yeah,
right.
That's fair.
Like I appreciate getting to see what you'd call him an auteur, what an auteur like him would do with these big budget blockbuster movies. Like we have a lot of examples of it, and I appreciate that.
I think I was more excited about that idea when it wasn't something that was happening all the time, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, when I first heard that Guy Ritchie was doing Sherlock Holmes, I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And now, in this climate, it's just like, okay, that's enough. Let's calm down, everyone.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're still not even really doing that. Like, they're getting, like, indie directors who've done, like, one film, but not a director you'd call an auteur. That's
true. That's fair. Unless the Tarantino Star Trek happens, which really...
Oh, shit.
Let's not. Let's not.
You know what? I'm at like, fuck it. Just do it.
Honestly,
go.
fuck it. I really want to see what Tarantino does with that.
Give
him a Star Wars. I don't give a shit. Give Tarantino a Jurassic Park.
Oh,
actually, I would love that. I would love that more. I would go see the dinosaur movies if Tarantino was making a dinosaur movie.
Holy shit. Can you imagine?
That would
see. I don't think it would be what we want it to be, though.
I can't conceive of what it would be, and that's why I want to see it.
The reason why I think, it's the reason why this doesn't happen. It's the reason why Edgar Wright couldn't do Ant-Man.
Yeah, is
because ultimately they just end up making a studio film, or they don't do it at all. Yeah. Where it's like all the things that make them unique just don't come out anymore. And that seemed to be what happened with Ant-Man, which it was like, can you be not Edgar Wright? And it's like, all right, why are we doing this?
Sorry, my brain's still stuck on Tarantino Jurassic Park, and I'm trying to think if he would go more a Kill Bill direction or like a Pulp Fiction direction, where it's just like
kind of a series of vignettes. Yeah,
series vignettes. Or are we going like
intertangle?
Or are we going Kill Bill, where it's like you're following one person on a mission to like kill all the dinosaurs?
I'd want to see Pulp Fiction. I'd want it to be a series of crime vignettes that all end with a dinosaur killing everyone, and that's just how each one ends.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like Vincent opens the briefcase and a velociraptor leaps out of it.
Just leaps out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd watch that real fast.
Yeah, sure.
What's the next trailer?
I also want to see...
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was just going to say, I want to see Guy Ritchie do the Avengers, but not the Marvel Avengers.
Right, the British Avengers.
The British Avengers.
Oh.
Uma Thurman Avengers. I think that would be a good fit,
too.
I
would watch that. That would be dope.
I don't know why we haven't taken another crack at that.
It'd be Kingsman.
Yeah, but Avengers with Sean Connery. It's not confusing to use that name. It'll be fine.
Not at all.
Let's talk about the next trailer, which I don't remember what this is. Six Underground?
It's the Michael Bay movie?
It's the Michael Bay Netflix movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, no.
Good, it's Netflix. I didn't realize it was Netflix. I was like, I don't know if I'd pay money to see this movie.
Oh, I'm so excited to watch Michael Bay do a non-Transformers action movie.
I was really... Honestly, I wasn't feeling it until there was a certain part of the trailer where the music like switched in and it had like a song that I really liked.
Right.
And they cut to that song and it made me way more hyped. Suddenly I was like, oh, I want to see this. This is pumped. Okay, rad. Yeah, go after the bad guys. Cool.
That's exactly what Michael Bay wanted. He's just like, can we make like cool music, get everybody pumped? And it works every time.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you tricked me.
Yeah. Fucking Michael Bay not doing Transformers. It's weird that that's a thing. I'm like, oh, thank Christ, but I am. I'm very excited
nobody
for this.
For the unrepentant monster that he is, he knows how to make a fucking action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I will say, like, my only critique of like, and it's literally just a trailer, so I don't know if maybe like he'll tackle this,
right?
Because the premise is like these people are these like assassin dude people are dead. Quote unquote dead, and they're going around killing like horrible political people around the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they only showed people like in the Middle East, kind of.
Right.
So I was hoping, like, well, I kind of hope these people also kill like some like white supremacist people in like the U.S. Like, if you're gonna be this team,
Bad Boys 2,
and just like, can you kill like? Can you, like, if you're gonna do it, kill like the bad guys in the country that we're watching this from too? Like, this is definitely like for U.S. audiences. So like, I think show that Nazis are bad, please. Just do that.
Yeah, I think we need this now more than ever. Is like, I love Jack Ryan. It's just who I am. And I guess the next season of Jack Ryan is him going to Venezuela to like help the CIA. And it's just like, oh no, don't do that. And the last season before it was just about a Middle Eastern terrorist blowing up a hospital. And it's like, look, if you want to do that dad porn Grisham spy shit these days, let's have some white supremacists. Let's do a Jack Ryan season that's him fighting white supremacists. Yeah, make it clear
that, like, hey, these are also bad guys too.
Yeah.
And if you are watching this show thinking, cool, I want to be like this guy, maybe I should not be a white supremacist, because right now, a lot of white supremacists could look at these shows and these like action movies and go, I'm that guy.
Right, exactly.
That's not good.
Also, just from a really shallow point, it's white supremacists are in right now in terms of like,
as
villains.
in a bad guy. Like, if you want a current bad guy,
and
go after them.
Yeah, and movies aren't doing it, and like it's Jack Ryan. Like, come on, man! Like, this is what's hot with the terrorism.
Go after some like modern Nazis. There's so many modern Nazis now. Go get them.
Do a whole thing with fucking fake, like something that's clearly supposed to be 8chan, and Jack Ryan has to go in and like maybe get the help of like a weird bearded guy who does a lot of drugs.
Oh my god, that would be wonderful. That'd be actually hopeful.
Well, have Robert Evans help Jack Ryan.
Oh my god,
that's what I want.
That would be. I would watch that.
Yeah. So would America.
I'm just tired of them going like overseas and being like, we're going to kill the bad guys over here, and it's just like we have so many here.
I know we
have so many bad guys.
I think the problem is we don't have like dope, unique skyscrapers here that they can do cool action set pieces in.
That's fair. And in the ones we do have, we're kind of sensitive about blowing up now. Like, we're not into it as much. Unless it's giant robots. Unless
they're getting smashed apart by Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude leveled Chicago in one of his Transformers.
Sure did.
It's not like he gives a fig about that.
He did I think in the Mark Wahlberg one, there's like a sign that says Chicago Strong, and it's like, what are we doing? Oh, man. Yeah. Like, he made it like the 9/11 of the Transformers universe.
Oh, man.
He sure did.
That's
Michael Bay is a special kind of lunatic.
Yeah, and now he's making this, and I'm
gonna watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch
the hell out of this. Yes.
Yeah, Netflix. Sure, that's gonna be fine. That's on my list now.
I believe it's the most expensive Netflix production today. It's like $175 million.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I like nuts. What's his name? Which person? Which handsome man? That one. I was like, which handsome faces in this one that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch you.
They just I guess there's some production stills and stuff from his next movie that I was reading about, Free Guy, which I'm very curious about.
Where he's the NPC?
Yeah, where he realizes he's an NPC in an open world video game. It was filmed.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was filmed in Worcester, which is where Jeff May's from. So that's even weirder. I don't know why they chose Worcester. But it looks, I don't know, it looks solid. It's got, what's his name with the hair from Stranger Things?
Steve. Joe Keery.
Yeah. It's I don't know. That trailer is probably going to come out. We'll probably be talking about it next week.
So is that kind of like a version of like Truman Show a little bit?
I think so.
If you figure out you're an NPC in a video game?
Yeah.
I think it's more like Wreck-It Ralph.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Where he's like realizes I'm stuck in this role I'm supposed to play, but I don't want to play this role anymore.
Right. But the role in this case is he's just insignificant.
Right, he's cannon fodder in a GTA game.
It's supposed to be like GTA.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
Yeah, it'd be a
nightmare. That's the worst place to be an NPC. Fuck.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
Oh man, should be fun. All right, next trailer. I forgot I put this in, and I'm glad I did. I Lost My Body, which isn't getting that much buzz. Yeah,
it does look very cool, great. And it's a good trailer because the tension of like, well, how did this happen to the hand? Like, wait, clearly the hand is looking for its body,
right?
And they keep showing vignettes of when he was whole,
right?
And I'm just like, well, I need to know how this happened. Like, this is really good. You've made me curious about this question, and now I want to see it.
It looks super intriguing. It has that art film feel to it, like the Red Turtle?
Yes.
Which is also beautiful and
it's animated, but it looks like it has like student thesis animation vibes where it's like not perfectly drawn, but still definitely like a skilled level of animation.
It kind of reminds me of The Snowman. Just the style of it. Do you guys remember that?
Not the Michael Fassbender film.
No.
The cartoon that I do remember.
The animated Snowman, that style, it's kind of minimalist, but still a lot of talent and a lot of
it has a nice sketchy quality to the drawing, which I appreciate. And I'm like, well, I want to see that. There's a moment where the hand is fighting a bunch of city rats with a lighter, and I'm like, wow, that's so creative. I want to see it.
That was the part where it stopped being like an art film, and I was like, oh, now we got a movie. He's fighting rats.
Yeah, fuck those rats.
He's Pickle Rick. Yeah.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah. Is he? Is it Thing rules? Because Thing defies gravity, right? In the Addams Family.
No, not really.
Not really. No, he still has to jump.
He has to jump.
he can jump pretty high for what I think a hand should be able to do, but he can't like fly.
Yeah, but he he's had parts where he's like written stuff down. Like, how is he doing that? Thing like, kind of is floaty.
Yeah, and he could see. Like, clearly the hand could tell there were rats about to eat him.
Right.
So it has some type of vision.
That's true.
I think if you think too hard about the hand being animated, it's going to fall apart.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking about Thing can't do, like, certain things.
I'm just wondering how they kept showing scenes too. It's really cut really well. Of like they keep focusing on the hand when it's still attached to the body, which adds the tension of like, well, how does he lose his hand?
Right.
How does he lose his hand?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're not showing me how he loses his hand.
Yeah, it's going to be like a series of memories leading up to. It's going to be honestly, it's going to be kind of like Jason Bourne.
Yeah, it'll be exactly like Jason Bourne.
Like just regaining memories slowly up until the point where it gets removed from its body.
Right. No, yeah, until he attacks Brian Cox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he's going to have to kill Clive Owen in a field.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I hope.
Yeah, so that looks
when
really
does that
good.
one come out?
Like, Thing can't give a hand job, right? Gravity wouldn't work that way.
He has to keep. It would be exhausting for Thing. He'd have to keep
jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably not be a pleasant experience for Thing.
Unless you put a little trampoline under him.
Sure. Trampoline would help.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next let's go to the next trailer.
But then he might slam a fist down right on your nuts. So I don't know.
In general, yeah, having intercourse with a severed hand that's possessed,
or
not great.
A sentient hand.
A sentient hand.
Not the
I
best.
know people will have that instinct, be like, I wonder if I can fuck this hand, but it's probably not pleasant for the hand.
No.
Yeah, I would assume, like, because it's not. Yeah, Thing would have to want to do it. There's like.
I wouldn't. Yeah, that would be mean.
Like, because Thing could hurt you. Thing could hurt you real bad if
He's a
he
fist.
doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole sequence in Evil Dead 2, like with a hand.
Oh, that's right.
That'll hurt you. Yeah. We should have more evil hands. We've got the 2 movies. We got Idle Hands and we got Evil Dead 2.
I do like that. That's a weird trope. Like, it's like humans have this thing of like your hand.
Well, yeah, they're the perfect killing machine. Like all murders have been
murders
done
are
with
committed
hands.
with a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hand has been involved in every murder.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You
No,
could bite
every
someone
murder.
to death. Okay.
Every murder.
Right,
I'm
fair
thinking
enough.
about that. Like, is it? Has someone killed someone with a foot?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Oh, you could probably step on somebody.
You could do all. Yeah, you could kill all sorts of
You
things
kill
with
all
your
kinds
foot.
of things with a foot. Yeah, that's
But there's
true.
never movies about disembodied feet because they wouldn't be impressive.
No,
They would just flop around like a dead fish.
There's not as much menace to a foot, to be honest.
No, they can't really do anything.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Or like just a forearm with no hand, like
It's
just
a
from
log.
the
It's
shoulder.
just a
to
meat
the
log.
wrist.
It's just a
Yeah.
meat log.
Just
Yeah.
sort of like caterpillaring around using its elbow.
Maybe get you in a chokehold, but
Mm-hmm.
then you
Maybe.
just eat your way through the chokehold because it's
That's
just a big
true.
old meat log.
Yeah. I'm glad we thought about this.
Yeah, glad we're doing this work.
Next trailer. This was going to be my movie that deserved more hype, but I just found too much this week. Primal.
when
Oof.
it started, I was
So excited.
I was just like, ugh, what is this? And then I saw Nick Cage and I was just like, oh, no.
Just immediately sit straight up.
I was like, oh, now I'm intrigued. What is this
Go
movie?
on.
This is about a hunter, everybody's favorite kind of protagonist, a hunter who catches the animal. He doesn't kill them. And he's on a boat full of the animals, and they all get loose because of a terrorist?
Yeah, they
So,
also
yeah.
capture a terrorist. And a terrorist who happens to have seizures, and they did the thing of like, well, we got to take care of his seizure.
Right.
And then he kills everybody, and then he lets out all the wild animals, including the snow leopard, which I will say is a very rare animated CGI snow leopard that he caught. I mean, if you saw one of those in the wild.
Yeah, one of them cartoon leopards.
Wow. Like,
Yeah.
it's they didn't even try.
No.
They
Well-
no effort to make that cat look like a real cat.
I don't think they had much
They
budget
didn't have
to
as much
try.
money to do it, yeah.
This is the director of Outcast, which is a samurai film featuring Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen that came out.
Oh.
And I think I might have seen, but it was so forgettable that I don't remember a second of it. I remember it being a very funny idea. And I am very excited about this movie.
I just want the cat to win.
Me too.
That's the ending of this movie. I want the cat to kill everybody and then escape with the boat.
I want the ending to be
He's just driving it back to the jungle.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like New York, and the boat pulls up, and the cat comes out with like a little captain's hat and like gives a fake passport and just goes and has a great life. And just
it turns out that it talks at the end.
Sure. I mean, why not?
Cat.
It's a cartoon. Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Like he literally, it's like no effort.
Yeah.
Like, please watch this trailer. Like it's just, it's this cat belongs. Like would not work in the new Lion King. Like it's so bad.
I think this falls under the funny to see the trailer. And then when we all watch the movie, we're going to be like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Like when he did Left Behind, when Nicolas Cage did a Left Behind movie.
He did?
Yeah, he did a remake of that.
Oh, no.
And it was hilarious to know about. And then you watch the movie and you're like, well, this is just boring. I feel like this movie might have that problem. But we'll see.
It depends on how much cat they have.
Yeah. There's some snakes in it, too.
Yeah.
I think there was a monkey. Did I see a monkey? I don't remember anymore.
I don't remember the monkey. I just remember there was definitely a lot of snakes.
Right.
I mean, the concept is pretty, like, you're trapped on a boat with an assassin who releases all these dangerous wild animals, and now the crew has to escape.
Yeah, it's snakes
like,
on a plane.
Yeah.
But with Nicolas Cage and a boat.
Cat on a boat.
Cat on a boat.
Cat on a boat.
Cage on a boat.
I see your snakes on the plane, and I raise you cat on a boat. He tried to make a cage joke
at the end there, too, right?
What?
Wasn't there like the little tag at the end? It was like a cage joke, like, I have a good cage for you.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't
like
even
that.
get the double entendre there. Yeah, you're right. Because he's talking about putting him in a cage because he's a criminal and he's a guy that traps animals and puts them in cages, but also his name is Cage.
Mm-hmm.
It's got layers, man.
I can't wait to rent this movie.
So deep.
I can't. Yeah, it's straight to VOD.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing if it wasn't. That would be truly amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing if somebody believed in this film enough to give it theatrical distribution.
I do appreciate that even our shitty movies now have, like, not good CGI, but, like...
Passable CGI.
This is like early 2000s CGI of, like, top movies in the early 2000s. This is Mummy Returns.
This is the Mummy. I was just about to say that. This is some Mummy Returns CGI.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. Next trailer, Michael Fassbender Road to Le Mans.
All I wrote was Vroom Vroom movie.
Yeah. I put a shout out to the top.
He wants to go to Le Mans.
Yeah, top YouTube comment, which was just Michael Fassbender, which
was solid. That was a solid comment.
It's just him being a race car driver in real life.
He's like, I'm rich and I want to drive race cars and go fast. So I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to hire a film crew to show that process.
Is he going to make a salad dressing next? Is he just going full Paul Newman?
Sponsored by Porsche.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wow, Porsche, is this the type of publicity you need? Like, I feel like you're pretty solid on the, like, Porsches are, like,
they're like
fast cars.
They're like, sure, Porsches are great. But don't you want to be the brand that's known for killing Michael Fassbender?
Right? I was like, he's going to die, right? Yeah. He's going to die by the end of this whole process.
Right. This is how we're going to learn that he's been dead for a while because they just pre-filmed it.
Months.
Yeah. No, I mean...
But not to this. Like, this hobby of his is going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, but he probably... I mean, look, I'm no Michael Fassbender, but I assume he has realized that's a possibility, right?
Yeah, he's come to terms with that.
But again, Paul Newman did all this too, and he was, well, he's not fine now, but he didn't die from
he just died from oldness.
Yeah, he just died from old guy. So you never know. I don't know. Maybe he's good.
I don't know.
It's a better decision than the Snowman.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid a bunch of money by YouTube and Porsche to go race cars at Le Mans. Yeah, that's a way better decision.
Yeah.
I mean, it did look pretty. Like, it looked like if you like cars, this is probably a movie you'd enjoy.
Yeah, if you want to see Michael Fassbender going around in circles real fast, this is the documentary for you.
This is extremely your shit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm taking back. I just watched Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is the same director as The Snowman. So if you were offered a movie by the director of the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you should do that movie. It's not his fault it turned out to be The Snowman. That's an anomaly. I'm just taking that back.
Right.
Somebody was just about to be like, you know what? Like they had the deal in front of them, and they were about to sign it.
No, I mean Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is a great fucking, and he did I think the remake of the Let the Right One In. I don't know what It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter.
No, none of this matters.
Yeah, none of this matters. Do you want to get onto stories?
I do want to get onto stories.
Sam Mendes, his next film, 1917, apparently is going to look like it was shot in one take, which is cool.
I wrote neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Roger Deakins is the cinematographer.
I'm personally not a war movie person. That's not like my cup of tea. And
sure.
I don't really find them personally intriguing. However, I feel like, okay, this is like an artistic challenge. That's pretty cool.
It is and it isn't, because it's going to look like one take. It's weird that
I liked Birdman, and Birdman did a lot of one takey looking scenes.
It's designed to look like one take as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why aren't they just doing one take anymore? Like Russian Ark,
prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, but fuck it. Don't you want to? I don't think Russian Ark used to be the record holder. I think there's a movie that takes place in a World War I trench that beat Russian Ark. But I don't know. Fuck it. It'll be expensive and it'll be really hard. But don't you want to do it for real? Just for fun? Do you think the studios are just not allowing it?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be such a contained premise.
Well,
I can see one take as shorts more than a whole feature length one take. That
right.
Just me sitting here, that just sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for the performance standpoint, it's just like a play.
Yeah. But for a movie like this, like a complicated war movie with effects and extras and a whole bunch of other technical things to take into consideration, I don't think it's possible.
I think it could be if they tried real hard. Like I said, I think the thing that beat it was a war movie as well, that beat Russian Ark. But that was probably less technically complicated than whatever he was doing.
Yeah, you said it takes place entirely in a trench.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But I'm just disappointed. Sam Mendes.
I guess.
I'm disappointed in you.
All right.
I don't know. It's just weird that there hasn't been movies that are actually giving it a go. I get Birdman because that jumps through time.
Yeah.
So it's you can't do it. Or, well, you still probably could somehow, but I don't know. I want to see someone take another go at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. Not that that's long shots don't equal good movies, but
no.
It just seems like a fun
But just
challenge.
for the art of it to try to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Next story, and maybe this'll rise to the challenge. Clerks 3 is going to happen.
Okay.
I didn't have a comment on it because it was that what time. I was okay, all right.
I just think it's interesting because there's a pattern.
Yeah.
Where
it's always
a Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Yeah, he has a hard time convincing Jeff Anderson to do it.
And then he makes a Jay and Silent Bob movie, presumably gets Jeff Anderson back for one scene, and then they're like, you know what, let's do another Clerks. And that's how it's been. That was what it was for Clerks 2.
Oh.
And now he's doing the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. He's always talked about doing a Clerks 3 where they're now fathers and
okay. I was wondering, I'm what would it be?
Because I think, that was what he nailed about Clerks 2, which whether or not people like that movie.
I liked Clerks 2.
Yeah, I just watched it recently. It's a little sappy at times, but it's good. Which is that coming back to these characters who feel like their lives are behind them now, and they feel like they've wasted their lives, and that idea of just checking in with these people who have that issue, who have those doubts about was it all worth it, and then coming back to them when they're now fathers and stuff like that. Like I can see him doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his like before sunrise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool idea. And so I don't know, I'm excited to see it.
Sure.
But it does seem like there's all the reporting of it is always like he has a falling out with Jeff Anderson, and I think it's just that they're like not friends. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird.
They just don't click.
I mean, like the story was they were friends in high school, which is how he wound up in the first Clerks. But then, like,
I don't think he's an actor.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
So it's like each time, like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on like Clerks 2 on the DVD were about convincing Jeff Anderson to do the movie.
Right.
So I just think it's like he's not interested in really going back to it.
I guess, and like, since he's not an actor, it's like how much money can they actually offer him?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I feel like if I was not an actor and I was in a thing and people were like, people really liked you, but you're like, this isn't my thing though, and you're like, here's $500,000 though, and I'd be like,
all right,
oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't think paying him that much money.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like trying. I was like, well, I don't know what what's expensive for a non-actor was my thought.
Right.
Like, you're not getting millions of dollars, but
oh no.
I also think he's in this weird place where maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's showing up at conventions and shit either. Like, no, he's not like, hey, look at me, Randall. Like, I think he just has a regular life and job in like New Jersey. And so whenever he does one of these movies, it probably fucks up his life a little bit.
Oh.
Like because he plays a pretty volatile character. Like, yeah. And so I wonder if that's part of it. I think Brian O'Halloran, who plays Dante, he's I think a more local actor. He was in The Happening in one shot.
He is weirdly in The Happening.
Yeah. And he's done some indie films, so I think he's, I don't know, more into it, but it's just
he was like a local theater actor that Kevin Smith hired.
Okay, yeah.
Like Jeff was just his high school friend.
Right. And watching Clerks 2 recently, it's so weird to see scenes with Ben Affleck and Jason Lee, and then just some guy, like just Jeff Anderson there, like just like, hey, I'm this guy.
I mean, it's the same thing with Jason Mewes. It's just his friend.
Yeah, right. Who somehow created an entire career out of this.
Who's just like, I'm just gonna lean in. He's the opposite. Mm-hmm. He's like, okay, this is what I do now.
Yeah. It's weird. Again, I think people have strong opinions on Kevin Smith, but I think it's a style of filmmaking that's so unique, which is a combination of just people he knows with big actors. And that's, you don't see that. It's unique. And yeah, I hope he makes it.
Yeah. What's next?
Woke culture.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about Todd Phillips?
Not really. Like I feel like the Joker movie's been out for 100 years and it has. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna cover it.
I figured, honestly, I'm going to see it through you guys' podcast. I'm not like Joker's. We
were considering not watching or not covering it, but
we kind of have to.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I do want to hear what you guys think of it. It's just for me, like, I have zero interest in that character. Like, it's my least favorite Batman character.
Right.
So sure. I'm just like, okay, like Heath Ledger did a great job, cool. But even then, I'm just kind of like, okay, like it's the Joker. He's whatever which way. For some reason, it's a man who goes crazy and he takes it out on the world and kills a lot of people and he's nuts. That's the Joker. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
right. And this, I mean, I'll wait till I see it. And I've heard that it's good. I've heard good things. But yeah, it's yet to... Like, people, like, I read reviews of people saying, no, it doesn't glorify the character. It makes him out not to be a good person, and it's, like, dark and depressing.
And I'm sure it's
like,
beautifully
then why
shot.
am I watching it? Like, I don't want to see
like,
that.
It looks like every little bit I have kind of seen, like, image-wise, I'm like, oh, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful movie. Yeah. It looks very artistic, but it's just like, I just don't like that character, and I have no interest in that character.
And then Todd Phillips complaining that he doesn't he can't
Todd
make
Phillips
movies about broy guys anymore.
Yeah, he's an asshole. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry he can't make jokes without punching down. Like,
well,
it
yeah.
just seems like your biggest problem. It's like, I want to make fun of like people who I want to make fun of. And it's just like, well, do better. There's other people you could make fun of without picking on people who like are already like marginalized.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry you can't say tranny or fag anymore in your movies, Todd Phillips.
That's the thing.
Jerk.
I'm not going to defend him, but it is funny how, like, in the 2000s, we were totally fine with that shit.
We were. It's
that's all Todd Phillips.
If you watched The Hangover recently, it's like, oh my god.
Here's the thing. I will admit, I didn't like The Hangover, but mostly because the premise of it really, like, I couldn't handle that they went on a bachelor party the day before the wedding.
Oh yeah, no,
that's
insane.
That alone
that's insane.
Drove me so nuts that I couldn't enjoy the movie for what it is, because I was just like, what's wrong with these dudes? Like, why would you go on a bachelor party the day before your wedding?
I think
it's the worst idea.
I think it's 2 days before.
No, I think it was a day.
I feel like there's two.
It was 2 days.
I feel like there's two
they have
nights.
they might have
because they have a day to try to get back and find
Doesn't matter.
him.
It's too
Either way, I was just like, isn't that supposed to be like a month before the wedding?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a good distance. So if weird shit happens, you don't have
mine was like a week or two.
Right. Well, that's all right. And this is part of that movie being dated, is it has that like, yes, guys, and we're doing guy stuff. Like every wedding I've been involved with is like the days before the wedding is like just the bride and groom organizing the wedding together.
It's
like a couple would.
It's impossible.
And dealing with like random family members and like, you know, like logistical things that come up. And,
yeah, like the fucking music not working or catering not show. Like it's like it's a real pain in the ass.
Also,
I'm gonna tell you guys.
Also, the majority of bachelor parties I've been to, the bride was there for, because it's like, what's the thing you're trying to get out of your system before the wedding? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a dated concept, and then all hiding it all from the
party, because I was the girl invited to the and it was a nerd bachelor party, and we did a scavenger hunt and played board games. I was the one going like, are we going to like Jumbo's clown room? Are we doing any of that? And they're like, no, our girlfriends would not know. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
They're surprisingly
we went to Dave and Buster's and played arcade games.
Damn right you did. Yeah.
That's what we did.
But I went into it like, oh man, I'm like, I got invited to a bachelor party. This is going to be like wild, cool. And I was like, oh, I forgot. All my dude friends are like relatively decent people, and they're like not going to do that.
Right.
Because why? Why would you do that? Why are you getting married if you're like, I want to have like a wild...
Exactly. It's just like that idea of going to a strip club or something. It's just like, well, clearly there's a problem. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's
No, I guess I shouldn't be...
I think more than your guy friends are good dude stars, that your guy friends are huge nerds.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. It was just like, I was really like, so like, there's no like secret part where we're like going to Jumbo's, and they're like, no. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the Hangover also just has the antiquated, like, we have to keep everything from the women stuff, which is, I don't know. It's Todd Phillips. He made a bunch of movies where the protagonists were like white dudes who could say whatever they want, and now that's not as fun.
Fabulous success. Yeah. So what the fuck are you complaining about?
No, he's a little snowflake.
He's a little wiener.
Anyway. I was trying to think of like recent comedies that came out that people were like, this is great, but my mind blanked because I'm not good at movie memory.
I like because he was saying people get so offensive, and someone tweeted like, there's a comedy coming out where the main character is Hitler right now, right?
That! Yes.
Like, it's not...
Jojo Rabbit, What We Do in the Shadows, Booksmart.
Yeah, it's not that you can't joke about things, it's how you do it. That's it.
Yeah, just literally don't
Good
punch
Boys.
down.
People like Good Boys. There's and everything that's on TV right now, like Fleabag.
Yeah. No, comedy, it's always,
it's fine. It's fine. There's plenty of stuff.
Like Big Mouth's one of the most popular cartoons right
Big
now.
Mouth, yeah,
and
that's great.
I also think that what Todd Phillips is doing isn't new. I think every generation has had some old bastard complaining that they can't like say horrible shit. Like, I think that's just how the cycle goes, right?
Yeah.
there's always some people who are like, I don't understand this anymore. And then
I read a column on it today, and I'm embarrassed I don't remember who it was by. But his example was like, okay, so you know how like nobody's telling those hot Jimmy Carter jokes anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
it's because things move on. Like,
yeah, because time works.
And people adjust.
Yeah, we talked about this in the Some More News about it, where people are like, you can't make Blazing Saddles anymore. And it's like, yeah, that's how culture works.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, it would be weird to make that now. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's just, people are dumb.
What's funny though is I think you could make a version of Blazing Saddles. It wouldn't be the exact movie,
right? Because the point of Blazing Saddles is it's the racists are the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
like,
they're making
stupid
fun
idiots.
of the racist people. Like like how we should be making movies right now. We should be making fun of the racists right now.
Yeah,
I think you could actually make Blazing Saddles now.
Yeah,
you could.
You're right, and that's kind of a bummer because I was thinking it's antiquated because it's like, well, this is a simple message, but people still kind of need it. Don't
because
they?
nobody was calling that shit out back then. Yeah,
I think you could do. Yeah, you could 100% do Blazing Saddles now, and like, you're making fun of the KKK and like having like and having a black sheriff in a town, and it's like you can make it funny.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is the Native American in that.
Yeah.
With the overly Jewish Native American, that was amazing.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh, it's. I mean, again, it's a bit that's like, oh, this might be pretty. Like, but it's so absurd that they're not punching down again in that scene, or in many scenes, or any scene in Blazing Saddles, really. I mean, there's a few. Oh, you know what? There's awful gay jokes.
There's some. I was about to say Dom DeLuise.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay, so you'd have to adjust some things.
Yeah, you'd adjust it.
But for the most part, you could make that movie right now.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Because
the
it's
example
depressingly
in
still relevant.
News that we used is that Robert Downey Jr. did a film in blackface 10 years ago,
and people praised him for
nominated
it.
For
got
it.
an Oscar nomination for it.
As far as I've encountered, I've never heard like a black person having a problem with Robert Downey Jr. in that particular role doing that.
Right, because they were making fun of doing that.
Yeah,
like that's the whole thing. It's all about context. It's all about tone, context, and who you're specifically making fun of.
They knew they needed to have like Brandon Jackson there to point out that, like, to constantly be there to balance out and be like, what you're doing is fucked up.
Yeah, and that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So Todd Phillips whined that he's not good at comedy.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Pretty much.
And I'm sorry, Todd. Sorry, I know you're listening.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean,
we really let him down today.
Honestly, all the problems people are having with Joker may just be because the trailer is shitty.
I think it's just this sort of shit around it, the Todd Phillips stuff. I think it's the context. I think it's the age we're living in. Mm-hmm. Because again, there was people talking about like, oh, it's like Taxi Driver. You can't make Taxi Driver now, and it's like, yeah, maybe not. I mean,
no, you can, because that's the thing I wanted to real quick before we move on.
Okay.
Is the problem I have specifically with the trailer of Joker explicitly shows people being unjustly cruel to him.
Yes.
In Taxi Driver, all of his injuries and insults are perceived. You're never on Travis Bickle's side.
Yes, there's a few scenes where
where it's like objectively like
Martin
he's looking
Scorsese's cameo is devastating.
Yeah,
he's the guy who's going to shoot his wife. But
yeah,
it's not him being cruel to him necessarily.
No, and we know there's like the way he pursues Sybil Shepherd, and like the way he's like. He comes into like when he quote unquote rescues Jodie Foster, she's like screaming, "Don't shoot him! Don't kill him!"
Right.
And he does it anyway.
Right.
Like
Joker might be like that too.
It might be. But I'm saying there's no part of Taxi Driver where he's getting boot stomped in an alley for not doing anything to anybody.
Right. Yeah. It's also, if it is like Taxi Driver, then why are we making it? I know some of the reviews I've seen about it was people pointing out like. The biggest offense of this movie is that it's a Joker movie, which is that it doesn't need to be. It's just like they shoved the Joker in it to make it something that people will watch. Because it's just basically could be Taxi Driver or anything else, but they're like, but look, kids, it's the Joker.
I suspect that the movie is going to do...
That's so much worse. Because
I suspect the movie's going to do something that connects it to the Joker. And I
hope.
I suspect that Joaquin is not actually the Joker.
Okay.
I think he might end up inspiring the Joker, and there's going to be some weird tag at the end of it.
I mean, that would make sense for the age difference of the two. I want Jared Leto show up and be like that.
He might,
but with like gold teeth.
Yeah, but with like a grill.
Somebody pointed out to me at work today that they think Jared Leto's Joker would have been a better Batman Beyond Joker, and I was like, I feel like that would have worked.
I don't know.
Because I don't want to discard. I don't like Jared Leto's like method acting bullshit. It was
insufferable.
Maybe just not want him to do that. But as like they presented it, I was just like, well, you were trying to do something different with the Joker, which I could appreciate on some level. It just super didn't work. But then but Batman Beyond, I feel like that would have been a neat take. Because it seemed younger, futuristic-y, still a douchebag.
Right. That's again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I actually have come around to Jared Leto's Joker because all the other Jokers are trying to make the Joker cool. He's the only Joker where you're like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's a real D-bag.
I don't want to hang out with that dude.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
That guy's insufferable.
Yeah. So in that way, it works as a villain.
He is repellent.
Yeah. But
we should move on.
All right.
When we can't. Sorry, you had a final thought there?
No, it was fine.
Everything's fine. We're doing fine.
We're all doing fine.
We're great. We're young. We're on top of the world. We're talking about the Joker. You guys want to hear about a movie that deserves more hype?
I would like to,
I would fucking love to hear about a movie that deserves more hype, Dave.
I'm super excited about this movie.
Me too!
Okay. I don't think that many people are going to be. This is called Lucky Day. It's coming out this month, which shocked me. It's coming out October 11th. It is, I believe, written and directed by Roger Avary. Now, why is that important? Because he co-wrote Pulp Fiction and he directed the movie Rules of Attraction. Star, have you seen that movie?
I have not seen Rules of Attraction. Okay. I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Rules of Attraction is actually a sequel to American Psycho.
I did not see that one either.
Oh, okay. You probably would find it very upsetting.
Yeah, no, I'm 100%. The little scenes that I have seen of those movies, I'm like, oh, no, thank you.
The funny thing about Rules of Attraction was that when the trailer came out, they made it seem like a college teen comedy.
Oh, no.
And it
is not what that is.
James Van Der Beek. James Van Der Beek is playing Christian Bale's character, Patrick Bateman's brother, Sean Bateman.
Oh, no.
That's the connection. So he has that Patrick Bateman blood in him.
So that's where those images of like James Van Der Beek looking like a crazy person and kind of bloodied are from?
Yeah.
I did not know that, but I remember seeing images of that being like, what was that?
Yeah. The first 10 minutes of this movie are really well done and very upsetting. And I went into that movie that was advertised really badly with a friend, and we had noticed that it said American Psycho and Pulp Fiction, so we were like, oh shit. And it was just full of teenage girls, and they cleared out very fast. They were all there for James Van Der Beek, and they were betrayed. But but anybody who saw Rules of Attraction, like it's a very well done movie, I thought. I haven't watched it in a bit, so I have to go back, but Roger Avary then went to jail for vehicular manslaughter after making that movie. Did. And he's been kind of away for a bit, and now he's out. And this is his newest movie, and it involves Crispin Glover hunting people down.
Yep. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to see Crispin Glover play this character.
And you sent the Red Band trailer, and I was watching this at work, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. But I was like, "I'm gonna keep watching this though."
Yeah, and Clifton Collins Jr. is in it. He was also in Rules of Attraction. He, I love seeing him in things. You might know
Clifton
him.
Collins is great.
The guy who's shit on in Westworld. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
The guy with the map on his head, I believe. Right. He's the first guy to get scalped.
Maybe he ends. I don't know. He ends up. No, Ed Harris keeps him with him, and then Maeve ends up reprogramming him. In season 2.
But yeah, this is I don't think it's in theaters. I think it's going to be one of those movies no one sees, but it's going to be very good or very well done.
I want to see it. I did like the trailer. I was just like, oh, okay, this is my kind of gory, where it's just like kind of cartoonishly gory.
It's over the top. Yeah. Crispin Glover speaks in a French accent, which they say in the trailer he is not French.
He's not French, because I was like, ooh, that's a bad accent. And they explained it immediately. Like, he's not French. He speaks like that because he's nuts. And I was just like, oh, that's terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
To be murdered by a man who talks like that.
Who just like decided he was French.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, for something where I think Rules of Attraction was his last film, I think he did something that tied together with Rules of Attraction. Like, it might have been I'd have to look it up. But just the fact that that was the last film he did, more or less, that was in theaters. Now this is the follow-up, makes me very excited. And the fact that Crispin Glover's in it,
Did you say what the premise of this movie was?
It's a guy who gets out of jail.
Yeah.
And he wants to start a new life, right?
Yeah, and he's in jail for some heist he committed that wound up killing Crispin Glover's brother.
And Crispin Glover wants revenge.
Glover brother, yeah.
He wants revenge, but I think he primarily wants the loot. It seemed to suggest.
And knowing this director, it probably is going to go in a totally weird direction, but maybe not.
Yeah.
But everybody should check out the trailer because it's got that Guy Ritchie feel. It's like a fun crime movie.
It's like a Guy Ritchie Tarantino feel for sure.
Yeah, and again, it's done by, if anything, the co-writer of Pulp Fiction. So, yeah, there's just some like sneaky talent behind. Like, if this guy's life didn't go the way it went, I think he'd probably be making bigger films.
But I mean, this might be his like turnaround. Yeah. I mean, clearly he's using his experience in jail to like.
Yeah,
inspire.
exactly.
It's literally about a guy who just gets out of jail, and then shit goes down as soon as he's out. So I'm sure he was thinking about that in his time inside. Like, what if when I get out?
He did have a lot of time to brainstorm.
He's probably has
bouncing ideas.
He probably has a ton of movie ideas just ready to go, and like was just giving them to his agent or like whoever, like just being like, "Here's another one. Here's another one."
But he killed someone.
Yeah. I'm just imagining a bunch of inmates watching the trailer on TV and being like, "Oh, I helped brainstorm that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we helped him workshop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy's inspired by me, clearly. Yeah. Like, the way he kills that guy, I told him about that.
That's what I did.
Oh, he used the line I pitched. Yeah. I cut a guy's throat with a Slim Jim.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody check out this trailer. It's, if you're excited about like the Guy Ritchie shit, you'll probably be excited about this.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all. That's a sewed.
That's all we have. Oh, I do want to follow up on, I recommended Marianne last week. I've gotten halfway through that show, and goddamn.
Yeah, I've heard things.
Yeah, it's good. It's some real freaky shit. Some real freaky shit in that. The plot's not perfect, but every time they do a scare, I stand up or I flinch and I go, no.
I've seen you like tweet about that, and I was just like, oh no, I'm never watching that if Dave's actually getting spooked. I was like, oh no.
They do some real creepy shit. Yeah.
Anything that legitimately scares either of you two, I'm just like, oh, I must stay away from this. This will cause me damage.
Right. It's not just the imagery. It's the way they do it. It's like a lore. Like there's a scene where she calls like the cops. And there's been a break-in, and the door's open. They're like, okay, go close the door. And she has to go through the house and close the door. And they're like, okay, is it closed? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, now turn around.
No!
It turns around, and it's a dark room. And they're like, do you see me? And it's that sort of shit where you're like, oh, fuck. And like, look closer.
I already hate
I'm right here. And it's shit like that where it's the perfect combination of imagery and then these like the campfire tale type spookiness.
Oh,
that just makes me go, oh, shit.
I'm cringing in my seat right now from just that little bit. I'm just like, oh, that's not okay.
Yeah. The only problem is it's French, and so you got to get past that.
You got to read. You
got to read. And unless reading is French. The worst.
That's a sewed.
Yeah?
Cool.
Star, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Where
what do you
can
got going on?
Yeah, where can we find you?
You could read my webcomic at rubywhipple.com, RUBIWHIPPLE.com. Please read my comic. It's about witches in Los Angeles. And then you can find me on Twitter at Starline X.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do
Dave.
all that.
Dave,
Yes.
what do we got going on?
We have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder as Maniac. Check that shit out. We have a tier where we watch movies with everybody every Friday night. I think we watched...
Including Dreamcatcher?
We watched Ghost in the Darkness the other night. Real
did.
happening shit.
Yeah.
We did watch the Triple X movies.
We did watch the Triple X movies.
That's true. We did watch some Triple X movies.
Yeah.
We also got a store, tpublic.com/store/gamefullyunemployed. You can get all kinds of cool stuff, including a delightful Fox Mulder poster that Star drew.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm working on another one. I know it's taking forever, but it's going to happen.
No, it's fine. It's going to be so good. So, yeah, check that out.
All right.
And that's it. We did it.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, let's be done. Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.